Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, be sure to check out my affiliate links in the description below to get discounts on different car mods and products. Okay, let's get into the review. Hello and welcome! Today we are inside of a 2021 Hyundai Veloster N. This is a DCT model. I would like to thank Hyundai of Newport in Newport, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this car. Their link is in the description below. Also, make sure to stick around for a quick audio test of this Infinity audio system at the end of this video. This Veloster is finished in a chalk white with a black interior. It has about 6,800 miles on it currently, and it costs about $39,000. This is a two-row hatchback that seats 4 and weighs in at about 4,000 pounds. This is powered by a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, making 275 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. This is also mated with an 8-speed shiftable DCT automatic. This is a front-wheel drive model and gets 20 miles per gallon city, 27 on the highway, and 22 miles per gallon combined. This also has a 13.2 gallon fuel tank. This is actually a 3-door hatchback, which is an interesting choice by Hyundai. This sits on some gloss black 19-inch alloy wheels on top of 235 wide tires. This also has 4-wheel disc brakes all around. As for safety features in this car, there is blind spot monitoring, lane departure alert with lane keep assist, emergency braking with assist, rear cross traffic alert, and automatic high beams. This has 4-wheel independent suspension, a rear LSD or limited slip differential, front and rear anti-roll bars, and some power heated mirrors. Those are covered in gloss black. And they do have turn signal indicators inside of them. And let's step outside and discuss some more looks. Alright, so in the front here you do have your DRLs. They are a pretty interesting design, I like them. Then below that you do get some, it's more aesthetics. They have some fake vents right here with a nice line running through them. On each side of the front fascia, you do get some nice bright red trim, the color of fast cars. You get your N badge in here, as well as a big Hyundai badge, and that is surrounded by a pretty interesting geometric gloss black grille. You do have a front lip as well, with a nice little touch of chrome. As for your wheels, you have already seen them, but they are a nice two-tone design, and they do have some bright red calipers with a big white N logo. They are standard rotors. They are ventilated, but they do not have any drills or slots in them. On the side here, for your side skirt, it is a nice gloss black piece with a red strip running through it, and you do get a little N logo embossed right into there. As for your side profile, it looks a bit similar to old Velosters of the past, but it looks pretty good doing it. And it has a very nice rear spoiler back here. And on the right and left sides of it, you do get some fake insert of some fake carbon fiber, but it fits the aesthetic very well. Also within the rear tail light, you do get a Veloster badge. And in the front and rear, you do get full LED lighting. I think the front look a little bit like the Ford Focus of past. In the rear, you can hear that nice deep burble out of these dual exhausts. So that's right there. You also do get a very nice rear diffuser, and then above that, you get a lot of nice gloss black. There's almost complete chrome delete in here, so you're not going to find too much silver chrome besides in the basic badging. Also on the spoiler bar, you do get a triangular third brake light. I find that interesting, and I like it. You also get some more red piping through there. And over here, this is actually a 3-door hatchback, so you get the front passenger and driver door, of course, but you get no door on the left side. However, on the right, you can open it like so and access the back seats more effectively. In my opinion, I think this looks very sleek and very sporty. They did a great job designing all of this, keeping it conservative, yet also looking very sporty in the process. And let's have a look at the inside. So you do have proximity sensors right here. And opening your door, it's a very large door, I like that. for the door panel here, unfortunately it's not finished in very premium materials. This is a driver's car, but it's not so much a luxury car because of that. This is only a Hyundai product, keeping it around $40,000 to $45,000 new. Right here is all hard plastic, but for your armrest here, you do get some padding, which is nice. You also do get an Infinity premium audio system right here, so that is nice. However, there is no contrast of any kind on this door. It is solid black plastic. And then there is, I guess you could call it like a graphite color plastic door handle. I just wish there was a bit more contrast. Even if it were still hard plastic, maybe some red or something like that, or even carbon fiber could have been a little bit more interesting. However, you do get your basic controls here. You get your power windows, and there are only 2 powered windows in here, of course, because this is a hatchback. Additionally, you do get your power mirror controls, and you can see your blind spot monitoring right in there. On your door sill, you are always reminded that you are in the Veloster N with a very premium and nice looking door sill. And entering the car itself, the first thing you see is this bright blue color for all the seat belts. I think it looks great and it accents the car very well. Seats themselves, they have a rather interesting design. They're very sporty with great bolstering, and they're mostly cloth with some leather trim on the outside, but they have this nice strip running up the middle, once again in the Veloster N seatbelt color, and I think it looks very nice. Also, you do get an illuminated N badge, which is present in higher end BMW M cars, which is a very nice touch. And sitting down inside of here, on the left of your steering wheel, you do get one blank button, but you also get your blind spot monitoring and your lane departure alert controls, as well as your gauge brightness controls. You also do get a climate vent above that. Also down below, you do get some aluminum covered pedals, and you also have an aluminum dead pedal. I think it looks very premium and nice. Alright, so sitting in here, the first thing we will discuss is the steering wheel. It is really a very nice wheel. This is leather wrapped with some nice perforated leather on the other edges of it, and it does have the blue Veloster N stitching. I think it feels very good in hand, very nice bolstering at 10 and 2, and overall just a nice meaty steering wheel. Behind that, you do get some paddles. They're pretty large. They don't feel the most tactile to use, but they feel fine. You do get your drive mode selectors here, so you can pick between normal, sport, or eco. And you can hear it will actually change the exhaust tone a little bit and rev up the engine a little more when you're in sport. Also, you do get over here, you get your N mode or your custom mode. You can customize those with a couple aspects of the car. Also, you do get your typical volume controls, seat controls, voice, and cruise controls over on the right. You also do get an NGS button, so you can change your shift points like that. For your gauge cluster in here is going to be an analog tachometer, analog speedo, analog gas gauge, and engine temp gauge. But in the center you get a pretty high quality, high resolution screen that you can use to control a lot of your multimedia. And it shows a lot of very interesting features like your torque meter and your turbo meter for your boost. As for visibility in here, it is very good considering this is a hatchback, so it has giant windows on each side. However, very thick C-pillars in the rear, that is expected, but they're doable, and blind spot monitoring will of course help you out with that. You do not get a sunroof in this particular model. In the center here, you do get your touchscreen infotainment system, and it's Hyundai's typical system. It functions very well, very responsive, bright, and easy to see. And if you get a home, you can control it all throughout here. It's all touchscreen and pick through all your menus. It also has a similar thing to some other Hyundais I've checked out, which is funny. It is called Sounds of Nature, and it is quite literally sounds of nature, like a lively forest, calm sea waves, rainy day, to name a few. And it's pretty interesting, so you could use that if you're trying to take a nap in your car, or you're just sick of music and hearing other people talk. That's always an option, so that's pretty cool. Down below that, you get your hard controls for most of your media. So you get a hard volume knob, a hard scroll wheel, and then you get your climate controls down here. And those climate controls are actually going to be displayed up here inside of your infotainment system. I think it's a pretty cool feature, no need for another screen, and I like it. Down below that, you do get a 12-volt charging port, you get a USB Type-A, and you do get another USB Type-A right there. Also below that, you do get a nice generic storage pad, no wireless charging pad in this specific model, but I believe that is available. For your shifter right here, it is finished in a nice N logo, and it does have a nice blue line. It is leather wrapped, and it feels very good in hand. Also, for the shift boot, it does have some, once again, light blue Veloster N accent stitching. And let's pop her into reverse and just see how the camera looks. So it does have moving tracking lines, which I always appreciate. No 360 camera though, and the quality is just very, very bad on this camera. Once again, that's not Hyundai specific, just so many brands are really underwhelming with their resolution and choice of cameras. Next to that, you do have a traction control off button, a big dedicated one, which I appreciate. You do have 3 blank buttons here though, that's a little interesting. That might be from civilian Veloster models, they've just kept those there, I'm not quite sure. You do have a manual handbrake, which is very nice to have, especially in a sporty car. Those are going away for electronic ones, which I personally don't like so much, at least in performance models. You do have 2 typical cup holders down here, but my one gripe with this is all of this is rock hard plastic. There is not one contrasting piece of plastic until you go all the way up here, just again for a different design of plastic. I know this is being kept an affordable car because of it, but I just wish they could have done at least a little bit more contrast in here. It would have made the interior pop a bit more. However, for all the performance features you're getting, this does seem to be very intriguing. For your armrest, it is a bit rubberized. It's not really that softly padded, but that is okay. It does have a great bit of storage down there though, so that is nice. Over on the right, you do get your glove box. It is damped, and you know, it does its job. For your visors in here, it does have a vanity mirror, and that is going to be lighted up here. You can turn that on like so. And for the visor itself, it does slide, but not quite enough to cover the whole window. I wish they had done a little bit more of an extension, or just some other type of way to help block the sun. Up here you do get 2 LED dome lights and your typical sunglass holder. Up here in your mirror, it is actually a manual dimming mirror, so that's interesting that they didn't do an auto in this day and age. But it does have some contact info if you need to dial emergency services. You can get that right inside of this car. As for the rest of the interior up here, it is very bland and a lot of hard plastic, but it's not unbearable or anything. It still looks pretty good, relatively minimal. Doesn't look overly cheap, but it is definitely on the bland side, and I wish they had done some more contrast and some more padding. And let's hop into the back seat. So to hop into the back seat, you're going to pull on this handle right here, and we will hop in. Okay, it's not the most roomy up here. Back here. Alright, so closing the door, it is definitely a low roof line back here. That's understandable. This is a hatchback. They usually have some sort of a sloping roof line. However, this is just very aggressive. You're at my eye level, and my eyes are above the rear of this roof right here. So that's a bit interesting. It does have, once again, a very similar door panel experience. It does not have a sill besides just a black plastic piece, but it does have the Infinity sound system once again back here, and very bland interior, but it gets the job done. It's ergonomically correct, it's not bad. As for the rear of these seats, it is definitely a bit tight back here. I'm about 6 feet tall with long legs, and I cannot get my knees like closer together than this, or it is just impossible due to the sporty backing of the seat. But if I'm spread out a little bit, I can do it. I have some foot room, but my knee also does bump up against the side just a little bit. So yeah, it's not the most roomy experience back here, but it is doable, and you could fit adults back here. It also continues the nice blue seatbelt design back here, so I very much enjoy that. You get 2 cup holders down here and a storage bin. You get no pull down, but this functions as a fixed pull down. You also do get a little padded armrest over here, so that is comfortable enough to rest your arm on. In the center, you do not get any climate vents, so that's an interesting choice. Once again, cost cutting, because this is a very performance oriented car. It's not so much about creature comforts and amenities. But I still wish there were a charging port back here. There's actually no 9-volt or a USB type A or C. I wish at least one of those were present. So those are my main gripes with the rear back here. And there's a beautiful Audi R8. Very nice. And let's just check out the cargo area. And to access the trunk gate, you will open it by pushing inside of here. And it is not a power tailgate, but it does have, you know, some lift posts right there. It is a pretty deep load floor actually inside of here, so that's pretty nice. It doesn't really have any wheel well intrusion either. It has a bit of a cutout on each side actually, as well as your subwoofers back here. It does have a privacy cover, and overall it's a pretty roomy spot. And you will close it like so. Very light tailgate. And let's discuss my final thoughts. Alright, so for my final thoughts on the review of this 2021 Hyundai Veloster N, I think it's a very interesting package. It has a lot of true sports car features and amenities that you would expect in much higher end vehicles. However, the interior is just very plain and endlessly hard plastics. I wish, even if they kept a lot of hard plastic due to this being a pretty affordable driver's car, I wish they had done some more contrast, either in the design and geometry of all the paneling, or in the color of them. So that's my only main gripe. And it does have a few blank buttons where I wish it didn't, and I wish it had some rear climate vents. But overall, this is a very interesting package, and I'm excited to drive it, so check that out soon. Alright, that'll just about wrap up this video, and thank you to Hyundai of Newport in Newport, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this car. Thank you for watching, and take care.
Never